Joy Behar has seen the view through it all. She was there when Rosie O'Donnell and Elisabeth Hasselbeck got into a yelling match at each other over 11 years ago. She was present when Whoopi Goldberg declared on behalf of women everywhere that, if you can't handle a fart, you can't handle me. But even with so many experiences in her back pocket, Joy told GoodHousekeeping.com that she doesn't think any of them have changed her. Since first starting in 1998, she's always been a serious person with a comedic sense. The show, on the other hand, has evolved dramatically, and in her opinion, for the better. Advertisement. Continue reading below. Her most memorable moments weren't always the happiest ones. Looking back, the fiery co-host says it's hard to recall some of her more crazier times on the show, partly because there are so many to choose from. And then suddenly, Fox News political commentator Bill O'Reilly comes to mind. For Joy, he was not only the most difficult guest when he appeared on the program in 2010, but also someone who helped forever change the show's reception. Bill was very difficult, very adamant to be plowing through what you were saying, which is why I had to walk off, she says. He was just going in to talk. It was as if he was on his own Fox show. I was not going to have it, she continues. When her and Whoopi walked off the set after O'Reilly, I think people saw that it was a serious show, and that we're not just fluffy and talking about stupid things all day long. Wait, did Joy just say The View talks about stupid things? Not now, they don't, according to Joy. But not every topic over the past 20 years has been her favorite. When asked about why she stays on the show now, especially since her longtime colleague Barbara Walters retired in 2014, she says it's just too important of a time not to be on The View. Discussing politics with people from both sides of the aisle has never been more crucial. ABC. Advertisement. Continue reading below. We're a smart show now. I wasn't interested in talking about dumb things anymore, she says, while alluding back to her prior years on the show. Here and there over the many years we had to talk about some stuff that, really, I found boring, but now that much of the program revolves around things Joy is interested in, she believes debating is the easiest part of her job. The hardest thing happens before cameras are rolling. Joy wakes up at 6 a.m. every weekday and immediately turns on CNN. While the news plays in the background, she'll peruse her favorite newspapers, the New York Times and the Washington Post, and scroll through the headlines on Huffington Post and Slate. Every day, you have to look up to snuff. That's what annoys me the most. Before 7 a.m. hits, The View will send Joy a list of up to 35 topics. She then has to write in and tell producers what she's interested in talking about that day. Between 8 to 8:30 a.m., Joy leaves for the studio in order to hit the show's morning meeting. Once the topics are decided, it's time for Joy's least favorite part to begin, getting her hair and makeup done and choosing what to wear. I don't like this, I'm not wearing this. You know, I look fat in that. It's a lot of that going on, she says about going back and forth with her wardrobe team. And every day, you have to look up to snuff. That's the part that annoys me the most. Advertisement. Continue reading below. Advertisement. Continue reading below. Dealing with drama is just another day on the job, while deciding what to wear is apparently the toughest part about Joy's day. Diffusing tension between her co-hosts, Whoopi, Sunny Host and Abby Huntsman, Anna Navarro, and Meghan McCain, does not make the top of the list. She says that despite their heated arguments, all the panelists understand that it's inevitable in their line of work. We kind of know that sometimes one of us goes over the line. I won't say what specifically, but sometimes things go over the line that then have to be pulled back, she says. Any conversation that talks about politics or religion is going to go off the rails. It would be very unrealistic to think that there would be no acrimony, disagreements, and maybe even hurt feelings sometimes. That's the way it is. To cool off, the ladies will occasionally go out for drinks after the show is over. We work together. A lot of people like to make it into a big romantic movie, or that we're always bonded at the hip, Joy declares. Sometimes we're mad at each other, sometimes we're not. Sometimes we like each other, sometimes we don't. just like girlfriends. Advertisement. Continue reading below. Overall, Joy says she's stayed the same over the years, getting through all the cast drama, co-host changes, ups and downs with guests. Joy reiterates that none of it has altered her personal views of the world. After all, as she says, she came to the show already as a grown up. She had been married to Joseph Behar, had her daughter, Eve, divorced Joseph, and had various jobs when signing her contract with The View. 56 years of life had already gone by, but what she has picked up over the last 20 years is a lesson about people, one that she'll take with her in the years to come. I've realized that nobody's perfect. We certainly know that. Doesn't mean you can't be effective at what you do sometimes. But every famous person and politician that we met, these are flawed human beings. But they've been effective in many ways. She begins. You can misjudge them. They are more than they seem very often.